YouTube, what is up? I am Ace, and today I'm going to share with you my final thoughts on the Pixel 6 Pro. Now, I picked this up back late October. I think it came out on October 28th. I've had it for about 4 months. I've been using it fully, SIM and everything. It's been quite an experience. Being a lifelong iPhone user, this being my first Android device, I've got some thoughts. So what do you say? Let's get into it. One of the things that I really like about this Pixel 6 Pro is that screen. That AMOLED 120 hertz HDR screen is amazing. It really pops. Going from at the time I had the iPhone 12 Pro Max, Pixel 6 Pro's screen really beats out on the iPhone 12 Pro Max. Now, when it comes to the 13 Pro, to me, it's about the same, but there was just something, maybe it's that 120 hertz now that the Pros come with 120 hertz. Maybe that's what it all came down to. Now, this screen is really nice and it's bright, and the function of it, super bright. The max brightness is 777 nits. I want to say, I think the iPhone 12 is around 650, somewhere around in there. With those little extra nits, I can see the extra brightness out of it. Now, we do have the Samsung S22 Ultra coming out. That bad boy is supposed to have 1750 nits, which I'm outside a lot. That would just be amazing. Hopefully this is a trend that is coming, with newer phones. But when it comes to dimming the screen, this phone gets pretty dim. You can give it a good drop, but not only that, you have the extra dim button. I wish the iPhone had an extra dim button, because this bad boy, it gets dimmer to me than the iPhone does on the lowest settings. Now, the 120 hertz display on this, it's nice, it's buttery. The Google feeds, which, by the way, that swipe from left to right to bring up your Google news feeds is awesome. But like I said, the 120 hertz on this thing, it really gets it going. I don't know how well this is going to look, recording, what am I recording? 4K 30? So I don't know. Maybe I should have switched it to 4K 60. I don't know. Or no, Marquez says, I'm going to go with what Marquez says. The 120 hertz, amazing. Now, another great feature that I like going from iPhone to Android is the always-on display. I like having an always-on display, especially when I can, get it as dim as I can get it, so it's not irritating at night, but I can just glance over, see what notifications I have, I can see what time it is. Always on display, I really dig always on display. Watching content on the Pixel 6 Pro is also amazing. I mean, what would you expect on this amazing screen to not have? Oh, I've got it turned up way too loud. Again, why is everything got to be so loud? But yeah, I mean, just look at that screen. That's an amazing, amazing picture. Audio quality, it's got some great sound, listening to music or listening to, the podcasts. I don't listen to a lot of my content just from the phone. I usually have earbuds or something like that, or I plug it into, the car or something like that. But, when there are times that I am listening to it, there's no cracking, and, it sounds awesome. The always on music is a great little feature. I know a lot of people might have issue with the privacy and I don't want my phone listening to me. I don't really care. Go ahead and listen. You do anyways. I mean, you tell me stuff that I just think I want to buy. I think of something that I may want to buy and it ends up in my cart. And pretty soon it's just going to end up at my door. So they're listening. Might as well enjoy it. I mean, it's great, the iPhone, you can just, press the little button. It's right there on the drop down screen and it listens and, tells you the song. But on the Pixel 6, it just does it automatically. I can be in the car, and if there's a song playing, I know it's going to pick it up. And not only pick it up, but it's also going to give me a library of everything that it's listened to. This is one of the best features that is on this phone. The camera has so many neat functions. It's cool. I mean, you've got your regular camera, you can do portraits, you can do motion. I never got into the motion aspect of pictures. I messed around with it. Night sight, I was all about night pictures. The night pictures on this thing are amazing. And I like how, it's easily accessible, to do things. Everything's just kind of like right there. Now, the modes on this thing is very cool. You got panoramic, photosphere, which I didn't mess with. I don't know. I need things looking like they're in a bubble or something like that. But the lens is cool because you can just take the lens and then you can put it in front of something, and then you can go here to like text, and then it'll show the text, and then you can take a picture of it, and it'll translate it, and all sorts of cool things. One other problem, which I'll get more into later, is certain optimizations for apps, and it doesn't look as clean, which I find it kind of funny that even on the Pixel 6 Pro, they don't have a full yes. Were the results useful? Yee? The details that it can get, especially at night, like with the moon. I mean, that moon is amazing. The iPhone can't even come close to any type of moon pictures. And like I've said before, even if it is, an AI thing that, the phone knows what the moon looks like and it helps enhance it, whatever, it still looks cool. Pictures of the moon, look at that. That just looks awesome. And then, of course, the eclipse magic eraser. This was the picture that I took. It was a nice sunset, but you got the telephone poles or the electrical poles or whatever poles, not those kind of poles. And it identified what to take out all on its own. And I just said, sure, we'll go with that. It came out to be this good of a picture. It just looks awesome. One of the other great features is the voice dictation. Hey, that was a really funny joke. Like I haven't heard that before. LOL emoji. One of the really cool things about an Android phone is that you can change your launcher. I'm not a fan of Pixel launcher. One, you have the date and the weather up here at the top left, and you can't change that. This whole area of space here, you can't put anything on there. That's just how it's locked down. I got the Nova launcher, and it's easily, you can just flip it. I can use this area up here to put a big weather thing, or, put a big clock, or, however I want to use it. So it's got special little features and stuff, packs you can download. I downloaded this pack, for the different skins and the different apps, animations when flipping through pages. What are some of the problems that I ran into with the Pixel 6 Pro? When I got it back in October, late October into November, it was buggy. However, the February 5th update, that was a big update. That was one that was supposed to come out in January, but didn't. I think it really helped the Pixel 6 Pro. Don't have the issues with as much bugginess, although there is still, bugs from time to time. And, the fingerprint reader, it's better. I like Face ID. I think I just like Face ID. It just seems quicker. But the fingerprint scanner, from what I understand, the ultrasonic, supersonic Samsung one is the way to go. It's almost like instantaneous. You just barely touch it and it's right open. Not quite so much with the Pixel 6 Pro. When I first got the Pixel 6 Pro, one of the major issues that I was having was the raise to wake wasn't working like a lot, or even the tap. I mean, I could sit here and just, bang on my phone. I always had to hit the sleep button, to get it to where I could scan my thumbprint. With the February update, that helped out a lot. It does still, from time to time, those are more few and far between than they were prior to the update. Also, another thing that over the iPhone that I prefer is the email. When you go to delete, like everybody has that junk email account. With Apple, you can just hit select and then you can swipe. Just you don't have to tap. You can just swipe down, go up, swipe. Here you have to, tap and tap and tap and tap. It's not as easy as just kind of going brrr, brrr. Now, there are still some apps that aren't optimized. I don't know if that's a Pixel thing or an Android thing. The Weather Channel, I use the Weather Channel a lot. A lot of the stuff works good. Everything is optimized nice and looks great. And then the home screen, it looks good. But then when you go into the daily, the date, the days and the dates are cut off. Not a deal breaker. It's just something that you notice. Twitter, it's like Skippy, it jittery. So I understand that that's probably on the Twitter end. The Twitter developers, they need to optimize. It's not all Android. It's not all Pixel. It's not Samsung. But Apple, that's where they first prioritize. They can have problems, but those they seem to be fixed quicker than on Android. Clubhouse, oh, yeah. Clubhouse is on my iPhone now. I use Clubhouse, maybe 2 or 3 times a week. I've got a little certain coffee talk, that I go listen to or I jump in. I've always had issues. I can go in, like I said, I use earbuds. You go into the app and you'll be listening and, you raise your hand and you get pulled up on stage and then boom, it goes to your phone. And then you're messing around trying to switch and trying to get it back so you can talk and it never quite works out. You can force close the app and bring it back up. Sometimes it would work okay, and a lot of the times it just wouldn't. And again, that could be Clubhouse. I know that Clubhouse started out as an iPhone thing, and then it slowly came to Android. But again, there's that whole apps optimizing for Apple, or seems to optimize Apple apps over Android apps. And even though, I had fun with the Android and had fun with the Pixel 6, I put my sim back into the iPhone. It's that ecosystem. It's that iPhone, Apple Watch, AirPods, MacBook, all of that, everything that intertwines an iPad. So yeah, Apple's got me by the short and curlies, I think. And kids, if you like this video, why don't you drop me a like and sub to the channel for more and hit that bell notification so you know when you get the latest and greatest. And YouTube, as always, be safe, be kind, peace and love.